And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, your Miami Heat back in the chase for the NBA Cup. Win today over the Indiana Pacers, 124-111, and a fine performance by your captain, Bam Adebayo. This was a very interesting game, man. Very interesting game. Fun game for the Miami Heat. They go out, they put up a whole heap of points. 124, which I believe is their season high this season. And a big bounce back. That was much needed for Miami as the Pacers, you obviously know, going against them. A lot of offensive talent. Defensive talent leaves a little something to be desired. And the Miami Heat came into this one and brought it to them. Brought it to them in this game. What a fantastic performance from a lot of guys and a lot of individuals. We'll start off with Haywood Highsmith. Haywood Highsmith, what a start he got off to this game. I mean, the dude couldn't friggin' miss. He was just absolutely money from everywhere. It's interesting, the move to him in the starting lineup. It is fit like a glove. And then on the other side of it, what Nikola Jovic has been coming off the bench has been absolutely fantastic. But Haywood Highsmith today was, I mean, just absolutely phenomenal with what he brought to the table for Miami. A perfecto for him. 14 points, 6 of 6 from the field, 2 for 2 from downtown. And you know what a menace that he is on the defensive side of the floor. So he just set the tone for everything. That was absolutely fantastic. Then, of course, you had to deal with that pain in the ass TJ McConnell, who, I mean, is just a bee in the Heat's bonnet. The guy is intangibles personified. He's all over the place. No matter what uniform he's wearing, he always tends to be a pain in the Heat's ass, and that was no different for today. So he's keeping them very much in it. But the second unit that came in with Miami, very interesting. Starting with the masked man, Jovic, dude. And let me tell you something, man. It's a look. I mean, he's got like the Zorro thing going on, so he goes with it. Spo said yesterday at practice, he's wearing kind of a regular mess. Nothing cool about it. Wrong. Oh, he looks like he looks like a demon out there. There's something about Nikola Jovic coming off the bench, dude. Something about it. Can't put my finger quite on it yet, but this kid looks easy breezy, nice and free. We also have Jimmy Butler being an absolute menace, because he is also on the bench wearing a mask for no reason other than to troll his brate, Nikola Jovic. He's wearing the clear one. Nico has this new black Zorro mask. And let me tell you something. He was looking good, dude. The last two Heat first-round picks, Jaime Jaquez and Nico, man, they were finding each other. Nico, I mean, first of all, Jovic looked great. But I just got to give it up for Jaime because he had a nice game as well, particularly the second quarter for these two guys. The tandem and the performance that they had together was absolutely marvelous. And I don't want days to go by without us appreciating, that's the word, the art that is Jaime Jaquez Jr.'s footwork. The pretty spins, the moves in the paint, works at his own pace. It's marvelous. It really is. It's just marvelous to see that man go to work, use his hoop skills at a premium. And today it just felt like everybody was contributing for the Miami Heat. You have a lot of double digit. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 double digit performances for the Miami Heat. And mind you, this was a game where Miami put up 124 points. Did not shoot the ball from three particularly well. You would have thought, oh, this is a game where Miami lit it up. Now they shot 15 of 42, 36%. Like, it wasn't like a crazy rain them down from three. And particularly your two best shooters, Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, didn't have particularly great nights shooting the basketball. But Tyler, even still, finishing with 20 points today. That third quarter, he really was there helping buoy things. But the man we got to get to in a second on that third quarter. I mean, you can't talk about this game without talking about love. But let's get I'm jumping all over this. Very exciting game. I'm like, I want to be all over the place. You can tell, like, I've been pent up because of what that last game was. But, dude, you get to the second quarter. First of all, right before that, you have Nico. I love him attacking in the half court now, smaller guys, taking the contact, finger roll like off the high window. Real pretty. Pretty. So the Heat finished the first quarter. They're 0-7 from 3. They come out of it. Duncan finally nails some threes, and the Heat start finally nailing some threes. But the pretty one, dude, Bam brought the ball up so quick. Pew, pew. Quick dish to Nico, dude. I love the way that looked. And then Jovic going right into Siakam for a big-time bucket. Jaime Jaquez going that work on TJ McConnell, that annoying intangible ant. Then Jaime gives the cross-court pass over to Nico. He hits a three. These guys were just finding each other. They were looking for one another. It was a beautiful, beautiful performance by Nico and Jaime. Really, really love to see it. And then the Pacers call timeout because Tyler finds Haywood Highsmith in the corner for a three. Bang. They start getting on the board from downtown. But they would not go away. I mean, the Pacers would not go away, and I think the Heat would probably think of themselves going into that halftime. They had opportunities to really stretch it out. But, look, this is a dynamic team. Halliburton's going to hit some threes. And up until that third quarter was having the night, he led everybody in scoring with 16 points. He was 4 of 8 from downtown. But, man, Carlisle was rats off a ship from his starters because they played like dog bleep in that third quarter. The Heat really took it to them. So the Heat go into halftime, and, it was one of these things where, they probably thought to themselves, only up 6. They got up to, I think, 11 was their high. Maybe could have had some places where they put it in a better place. There were a couple lobs that Bam and Tyler couldn't connect on. And you're thinking to yourself, it's interesting, man. Bam was doing everything in this game. And you're thinking to yourself, it's like, man, he's doing everything. And there were just some dunk opportunities, just things that weren't there. And that's why this is what's crazy. Bam Adebayo finished, remind you, he finished today with 30 points. He went into halftime with 3. 1 of 5 from the field. So this was an absolute needed explosion by Bam. But, these halftime performances, I mean, you had Nico with 11. He was 5 of 6 from the field. Haywood Highsmith, he had 11 points. He was 5 of 5. Jaime Jaquez had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. It was tremendous. It was a tremendous performance all around. And you come out of the third quarter, though, and the old wily vet himself, Love, Kevin Love, just took mother bleeping over. And this is crazy what he was able to do in this game. If we just go to Kevin Love's third quarter, bring up his box score here. Kevin Love in 6 minutes and 42 seconds, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, 6 of 7 from the field, 3 of 4 from downtown, plus 13. He was a friggin' menace, dude. Definitely his best game of the season. And it was interesting because it was funny because you're looking at the starting lineup, right? And inevitably Jimmy is going to come back, and you wonder who's going out of the starting lineup? Is it going to be Kevin Love? Is it going to be Haywood Highsmith? And you'd think to yourself, how could they not play Haywood Highsmith the way that he's been playing? I mean, he's been playing friggin' incredible. There'll probably be some matchup things, but Kevin, I think, was like, it's obviously been a slow rant, whatever he was dealing with. He needed to get back into competition. This was kind of like, if you needed a reminder of what he can do in a short amount of time, this was it. So the Heat balloon up their lead. They really get the jump on the Indiana Pacers here, and Bam really starts to get going. He gets a big and 1 from Kevin Love. He starts getting the jump hook to roll. Haywood Highsmith hits another 3. The Heat's lead gets to 22 points. Reserve lineup comes in. Rick Carlisle's done with his lineup, and then all of a sudden, in like 2 minutes, the Heat were up 22. All of a sudden, bang, 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 bang. Pacers are all the way back, and it is a 10-point game. So Spo, he inserts Bam Adebayo right back into the lineup. And so Bam, in every single way, stopped the bleeding of this game. Like, the Heat had it in hand. You would have thought, all right, it's going to roll over. Dude, it's the Pacers. The backups are all. Like, it was disappointing to see, like, that lead erased quick, but it was erasing quick, and momentum was completely flipping in this game until Bam Adebayo took it back. And he did take it back. He started putting his head down. He was getting to the free throw line. He was bullying them. He, whatever young kid they had on him, he was going right after him and getting to the free throw line a ton of times. Jay Rich was finding Bam Adebayo for a big-time slam. Then Jay Rich was getting involved. So the Heat would finish up that quarter up 13, but it felt huge that they were able to maintain it because it felt like it was slipping away when Bam came into that game. And then the fourth quarter, I mean, this dude was taking over. He had the jump shot going. He had everything going for him. Like, you just saw, oh, there he is. Like, everybody woke up. We were waiting for a Bam Adebayo performance, and you saw everything from him today. You saw the steal. He had the steal and slam in the fourth quarter. He was going at Miles. We know the rivalry with him and Miles Turner. Miles Turner. Oh, man, let me tell you something. So this was pretty crazy. Bam flying at the rim, and Mathurin kind of gives him a little check in the air. It looked bad. He was roughed up on it. Bam goes to the line, hits both free throws. About 7 minutes left. And then Mathurin, I believe they said, so then after that, Bam gets he goes right at Miles Turner. Big time fadeaway. Looked pretty. I'm like, that's vintage Adebayo right there. Like, that's him finding his comfort zone. But then Mathurin, like, apparently, like, E. Reed said, like, he had thrown, it looked like he thrown a little contact at Bam, maybe trying to get back. Well, whatever they were trying to get back, Bam Adebayo said, F that. And what he decided was to put the absolute dagger into the game, and he hit a 3-ball with nobody near him and put the Heat up 114-96. And then he comes back and he hits another one from downtown, dude, and put him up by 21 points, 117-96.
That would be game.
He was cooking, and he was fired up, and he was peacocking, and it was great to see Bam Adebayo look like that in a game. It was needed. We all know it. It was probably almost as important as the win. Was why did they put why did they seal the deal on it? To see Adebayo have a burst like this was absolutely tremendous and needed. Because really, this was a game where you could go to a ton of contributors, and this wasn't the Tyler Hero needs to save everybody show. It was, everybody thrown into it, but things were looking shaky there for a minute, and Bam really he plugged up the leaks and finished that nonsense. Got the steal and slam, which put the Heat up 119-101, and then had a roll in to get it to a 30-piece. Really awesome. Now, mind you, this was an NBA Cup game, so the Miami Heat kept everybody out there. I don't like this with the whole scoring differential because Tyler Hero took a meaningless 3 at the end, and I'm not blaming Tyler. Like, that's the game of the NBA Cup, but he ends up getting his hand jammed. I don't know who that intangible was that he was shooting against, but he ends up like getting his hand jammed, and I'm like, all of a sudden I see him grab his hand. I'm having like flashbacks and panic attacks of the Bucks series. And obviously he's having a marvelous season. So, maybe we don't have to run up this. Like, I know Spo always believes in karma of the game. Like, maybe just put out, I don't know, Pelle Larsson, and I'm sure that they could balloon up the lead once we know that it's over. And just see if the lead goes like that. I don't think there's a need to, when a game is done, keep your guys out there, run up the score. I just think you're flirting with disaster there. I did not love that, but I did love this game. And I did love this performance. A huge bounce back for Miami. They get to 5-6. If Miami can finish off this road trip with another win in Indiana, always hard to beat a team back-to-back, but it seems like we're getting. I'm not just bullshit here. It seems like we're getting very close to getting Jimmy Butler back. Like, he was working out with the team. He was on the bench today rather than back doing rehab. He worked out pregame in front of reporters. He was with Spo at shoot-around. It feels like this road trip could close out with Jimmy Butler making his return for the Miami Heat, which would obviously be huge. And then, you get to go back into your building. Very weird. Now, if you wanted to be uber cautious with it, Miami has a strange schedule next week where they play on Monday and then don't play again until Sunday. So maybe Miami thinks, hey, we could give Jimmy 2 more days off, and then he's back when we get, games against Luka and the Bucks and all that stuff. Maybe. But I think when he's ready. Like, I think maybe in a day and age where Jimmy was overly cautious with his injuries and wasn't trying to buck an availability narrative, that might be the case. But I think in a game like this that they know how huge it would be, excuse me, to even up the series, even up the road trip, and go back home with some momentum for 3 home games, get a little practice time with everybody. I think it would be great if they were able to get Jimmy. I'm not going to make a prediction one way or the other, but I'm just saying there were good signs there that you can't rule it out. Maybe Spo says something in the post game. You know me, I'm usually after road games, I'm just hopping on here and riffing with you guys. But what a game today, man! What a game today from your Miami Heat. From Kevin Love's explosive third quarter to Haywood's perfecto to masked Nico to Jimmy with the troll mask to Jaime's footwork. Tyler still doing the damn thing, even if it wasn't, even if they weren't falling as pretty as they were last. I just want everybody to realize, like, hey, Tyler's not gonna shoot 48% from 3 all year. There's gonna be games, and I will say this for Tyler, just as an impact on his game. First off, while the shot wasn't there, there's still one thing I could look to that was really key, and that's getting to the free throw line 6 times. And that's such a huge weapon if he can have that, and he has had that. So while you look and say, 6 for 16, bull bleep, dude. The guy found ways to get to the line. Like that's Jimmy Butler right there. Jimmy Butler doesn't have the shot going. How do I get to the line? Make more shots. He still gave you 20. Still gave you 20 and 5 today. But nice performances all around from Miami. This win had me very, very fired up. As fired up as I've been about the team in a bit.